Hey, what's going on, everybody? How's everyone doing? I just want to talk about the roller coaster ride of this season. Arsenal so far this season, just it hasn't been as good as it was the last couple of years to start the season. It was promising start, take a little dips here and there, but then we'd get on a run and we get ourselves going and we find ourselves really in this title race, high up the table, one of the better teams in the league. And just this season, it's not been the same. We've been held back by some things, individual performances not being as good, certain little things like red cards and everything else. But overall, we've just not been good enough. And I'm going to take this video to talk about everything that we need to talk about. What's wrong with Arsenal? Deep dive in some of the issues, maybe with the system, maybe with Arteta's management, maybe with some of the transfers. But overall, just getting into everything. Do me a favor, please do hit that like button, please do hit that subscribe button, and let's get this video started the right way. Yes, people. What's going on? Seagull Talks Football. We're back again with another video, and today of course, we're going to be talking about what the hell is going on with Arsenal. What's going wrong with Arsenal this season? The inconsistent start to the season has contributed to Arsenal being currently sitting fourth or third in the league table. If I'm not mistaken, we're currently sitting third in the league table with 30 points after 16 games played. If you compare that to the previous seasons, it's just not the same. It's just not the same. Let me show you guys what I mean. If I show you guys this right here, this was the season 2022-2023 season. 13 games into the season, we had 34 points. We're 16 games into the season right now, and we have 30, right? If I show you another example, here we go. Here's another example right here. 2023 to 2024 season, after 15 games, we were sat on 36 points, 6 points better than what we currently are. And don't forget, a better defensive record and a better goal record also. But the goal difference is only one compared to what we currently have. One point goal difference more. Then we go to the final thing, the table that we currently are sitting on. The table that we're currently sitting on. If you go to this season right now, sorry, not all seasons, this season right now, you can see that Liverpool are on 36 points and Arsenal currently have 30 points. Arsenal have less goals, conceded more goals, and have a lower goal difference than we've had in all three of those seasons after 15 plus games. We've also drawn more games and we've lost more games, if I'm not mistaken, than we have in those respective seasons also. Because in the 2022-2023 season, we only had one draw and one loss up until this point. And if I'm not mistaken, last season, at this point of the season, we have not dropped this much points either. Let me just double check it right now. If I can, we've had 3 draws and 1 loss. So we have more losses and more draws and it's just simple. We've just dropped too many points. But it's not only that. There's more to it. There's way more to it. The inconsistency comes from the style of play and and identity. We have slightly changed our style of play and our identity. That is one of the key reasons why we have changed. One of the main reasons why things have changed at Arsenal is because of that. And I think that is a big factor in what's going on at Arsenal right now. Mikel Arteta, for one reason or another, has decided to change his style or how he approaches games due to maybe the fact that we've lost the league the last couple of years, and he wanted to be a little bit more defensive, a little bit more resolute defensively, but a lack of a clear identity, I would say, is a serious issue. Inconsistency in our style of play. We basically are struggling to show the tendencies that we used to show as an attacking side, with different formations every week, with different players coming in every week. With the lack of consistency from the back line to the midfield, and even the attack not showing the same level of consistency that they did the last couple of years. you can see that it's affecting the style of play. I'm not going to put it all on the manager because we will speak about the manager in the third topic on this video, but there are 5 clear topics that we need to discuss. And the first one is the inconsistency in the style of play and the lack of identity in this team. People calling us set piece FC, people saying we're very defensive, people saying we're not playing as good fluid attacking football as we used to, and that is a fact. We cannot get away from that fact. This team is not as good offensively as we were the last couple of years. And you can say we're creating the chances, we're dominating games. Yes, we are. But to what? To lead to what? And the chances that we're missing and the quality of opportunities that we're getting, it doesn't seem like the players are actually taking the opportunities. So I will give Arteta a pass on that. He is coaching good games. He is getting them in the right players, and they're not taking the chances. But that's also down to something else that we're going to talk about the video, addressing the glaring weaknesses in this attack and going out there and strengthening that in the transfer window. But we're going to talk about that in a second. First, let's get back to this. First one, inconsistency in style of play. If you look at our style of play, the first season when we challenged for the league, we were amazing. We were scintillating. We were flying down the pitch, counter-attacking very fluidly, and we'd be able to get a goal out of nothing. Now look at this team now. It seems like it's very taxing on the team and the squad to try to even muster one goal in a game. And that's because the way that we play is a lot slower, a lot more calculated, a lot more controlled. And with that, we've lost a lot of the unpredictability in our attack. We've lost a little bit of the identity of this young team that we had a couple years ago. And I'm looking at this team and I'm saying to myself, I don't recognize us when we are on the ball. Offensively, we're passing it sideways. And where's the directness? Where is the direct, clear cut? Trying to get to the other team and taking them out. It just seems like we're trying to kill them with 1,000 pokes of a butter knife or something instead of just slicing them straight through and just getting at them. And it leaves us very vulnerable on the defensive side also. It leaves us very vulnerable for our opponents to then be the ones that exploit our inconsistencies. And that is why I'm looking at the first thing being the inconsistencies in our style of play. And that is one thing I'm concerned about. But yeah, big up everyone in the comment section. Do me a favor. Please do hit that like button. Please do hit that subscribe button. We got about 59 people watching right now. So do please hit that like button. Next, we're going to talk about number 2. Number 2 is going to be number two. What are we going to talk about? Number two, I'm going to talk about some of the absences. Yes. We have had a situation. Let me just check this in. Absences. You know, you guys are going to laugh at this, but this is actually a serious matter. When it comes to Arsenal, we've had some absences in the team, and that has caused some inconsistencies in the starting lineup. So the inconsistencies in the starting lineup has affected the team. And the reason why the inconsistencies in the starting lineup has affected the team, if you look at the team that we played with a couple of years ago and you compare it to the teams you compare it to the team we have now, let me show you what I'm talking about. This was the team that we played with last year versus Crystal Palace. Okay, this team right here that we played with Crystal Palace with last year, you had players in this team who played a majority of the season and were fit and available for a majority of the season. And the midfield, Odegaard, Rice did not miss much game time. Saka did not miss much game time. Trossard was in and out of the team. Jesus was in and out of the team, but Havertz did not miss much game time. Both the center backs did not miss much game time. Ben White was there for the majority of the season, did not miss much game time. Zinchenko was rotated in and out. So yes, you maybe have 2 or 3, but from this 11, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 players out of the 11 were consistently there and available week in, week out, no red cards, no major injuries, and that was a bedrock that we could build off of going into every game. We knew those players were going to be there and available. Also, another thing, you go to the season prior to that with Granit Xhaka and everyone else. You look at this. You had Partey, Odegaard. Yes, Odegaard was probably one guy who's in and out of the team Forget about holding. We had Saliba there a majority of the season, so I'll take him out. So you had Ramsdale, you had White, you had Gabriel, you had Xhaka, Odegaard, Partey, Saka, Martinelli, and Trossard. So from this team, I would say consistently Martinelli, Saka, Odegaard, Xhaka, Gabriel, Ben White, and Ramsdale. So once again, 7 or 6 out of the 10 were consistently there. Now, if I fast forward that and show you what's gone on this season, you guys will be slightly understanding where I'm coming from. Arsenal this season have had a lot more absences than we've had in previous seasons. Let me just show you what I mean. So first, straight off the bat, William Saliba had a red card. Gabriel Magalhaes has already missed 2 games due to injuries. You had Calafiori miss several games due to injuries. Timber missed several games due to injuries. Zinchenko missed several games due to injuries. I'm not even going to include Kieran Tierney. Ben White missing multiple games due to injuries. Tomiyasu almost missing the entire season, playing only 1 game. Due to injuries. You had Thomas Partey missing a game. You had Miles Lewis Skelly missing some games. Moreno missing games to start the season. Odegaard missing, what is that, 7 games. Bukayo Saka missing a game, and Gabriel Jesus missing games. This right here it can negatively impact the team no matter how good your team is. Missing too many players or having too many absences due to red cards or injuries is going to have an impact, and it's going to affect your flow and your consistency to try to get regular results. Now, this I'm not just saying this as one of the main points. This is a side point. I think this has negatively impacted the team's ability to try to get their rhythm together, get their flow together. And of course, if you have just this many players in and out of the squad, you're never going to have a consistent partnership in the midfield. You're never going to have a consistent partnership in the back of the defense. You're never going to have a consistent attacking phase if you consistently have players getting chopped and changed in and out, and you're not going to get the best out of your team. And I do think that also is linked to our squad depth. And this is where I'm going to go into the next part of the situation. Questionable transfers. Yeah, we do have questionable transfers, and we have to speak about it. I'm somebody who has to hold a lot of corn for this because I thought this team was good enough. I thought this team was really good enough to go out and win the league. I thought this team was really good enough to go out and compete for the league once again and go and challenge City, Liverpool, whoever it is, and go and get it. But I did not expect us to have as poor of a transfer window as we did. And regardless what our transfer window was, I still think this team is better than what we're playing at right now. But the reason why there's questionable transfers is very simple. Some signings have not lived up to expectations, and some signings that we've made are already needing to be replaced. Understandably so. The likes of Zinchenko, Gabriel Jesus, they need to be replaced by now. I'm not going to go back all the way there and say those were terrible signings. What I will say is we did not do enough in this past transfer window to further improve the team to get us to where we need to go. We needed to improve the attack. Raheem Sterling, no fault of his own, Mikel Arteta has not chose to play him yet, but Raheem Sterling is not enough of a level raiser for this team at this moment in time. We need somebody who can come in and improve that left hand of the attack because Martinelli and Leandro Trossard cannot carry the water. We need another attacking player who can help create and help score in this team. And that was a glaring hole that every single one of us can see. But Mikel Arteta and the people in charge at Arsenal did not make that decision to go and address that in the January or the summer last year. So once again, we leave ourselves saying next summer. Once again, we leave ourselves saying maybe in January. Once again, we leave ourselves doing something that we look at other clubs and laugh at. When Liverpool were competing against Man City, always competing with them in the Champions League finals, I always said to myself, FSG let them down. I don't think the Cronkies are letting us down, though. I think the Cronkies are willing to spend the money. I think it's Arteta, Edu, and the people running the club who incompetence has left us in a situation where they are looking for the right player instead of just looking for a solution to the problem. They keep saying to themselves, the right player needs to come along. The right piece needs to come along. Why don't you just take what you can get to improve the team? Why don't you get something? Because Nico Williams If you can't get Nico Williams, you can't tell me you can't get another player in the world of football who is a better player than what we currently have. It doesn't have to only be Nico Williams. If you can't get Isaac, you're telling me you can't go get another striker? You're telling me you're telling me you can't find a backup for Martin Odegaard or Bukayo Saka out there? Okay, Ethan. If you think Ethan is the solution, which I think Ethan's a quality player, then it also comes down to Mikel Arteta's management, and we're going to talk about his management in a second. But some of Arsenal's recent transfers have not met full expectations as of yet, or they've had injury problems, or they've not been consistent. For example, Mikel Moreno has not yet lived up to his full expectations yet. I'm not writing him off. I still believe he can. Calafiori has had injury problems. We have to wait and see what he does. Let's be honest, Raheem Sterling, extremely underwhelming, and he's not done anything of note so far. And it raises the question, is this sustainable to try to continue to compete against the likes of Chelsea's, Manchester United, Man City, Liverpool, if we're not going to continue to strengthen? We have an opportunity. We have a good team. You do not want to be left behind. If you continue to neglect glaring holes in the team, and window after window you see other teams strengthening, like Chelsea, quickly we could find ourselves in a situation where we're no longer a title challenger, but we are now going to be consistently a top 4 team, and the days of us competing for the league could be over very quickly. If, God forbid, if Saliba leaves tomorrow to Real Madrid, and something happens to an injury happens to Odegaard or Saka again, this team quickly goes from a title challenging team to struggling to get top 4. And I genuinely believe that we're not too far away from being league title winners, and we're not too far away from being back to top 4 challengers consistently, and nothing more than that. And that's what worries me the most. Okay. Do me a favor, guys. We got 96 people in the chat right now. Please do hit that like button. Please do hit that like button right now. Please do hit that like button right now, because I am keeping it so real with you guys. I need you guys to support the channel and show some love also, because I'm showing you guys as much. I'm doing this at literally 10 in the morning. So yeah, please do hit that like button, guys, right now. Next, the next issue is Mikel Arteta. Mikel Arteta is not without blame. Mikel Arteta is not without blame. Mikel Arteta clearly makes mistakes. He's human. He makes mistakes. And the reason why I call out Mikel Arteta, he has questionable tactical decisions in game that hurt us. And I can just name a few, if I may name a few. For example, taking off Martin Odegaard when we are chasing a game, unless he's injured, is committing. I'm not even going to say it. It's just hurting your team. It's harming your team. Taking off your captain, your best creator, and one of the players in the team that is supposed to be relied on and is one of the glue pieces. Now, him being injured was one thing. You having him to your disposal and taking him out of a game when you need a goal, 2 games running versus Fulham and versus Everton at home, questionable decisions. Also, there's situations where Mikel Arteta needs to make a tactical change. He needs to make a change in the team. He doesn't do it. He takes too long sometimes to make his decisions. He takes too long sometimes to make his thing. The one thing, well, Arteta has shown a lot of progress, and sometimes people are overly critical to his tactical decisions. His in-game management, it has always been a thing that I question. He has not been able this season to get Arsenal back to get a lead from a losing position in majority of these games. Think about it. Just think about it. We've dropped points in almost all the games, bar the Southampton game at home this season, from a losing position. Every single one of those games, we've dropped points from a losing position. Whenever we concede first, it's almost as if we're going to just drop points, lose the game, something bad's going to happen. That comes back to the first point I made, which was the inconsistency in their style of play and a lack of identity. Because before, if we were to concede, I'd be like, it's fine. We're going to score a second. We're going to score a third. But now, if we concede, I'm saying to myself, boy, we could drop points today. And that's worrying. That's frustrating. This can lead you down a rabbit hole where you say to yourself, Arteta, criticize Arteta. Should he be gone? No. I think Arteta has been an integral part to getting this team to where we are, and maybe with Arteta we can win the league, but without him, we would not be in this position. We would not be in this position at this moment in time without Mikel Arteta being an integral part of getting this team and building them to this level. So I'm not saying I want the manager sacked, but I am saying he's not getting the best out of certain individual players like Martinelli. And I don't think Martinelli's a bad player. Maybe under another manager, Martinelli could get himself going again. Look at Enzo Fernandez with Chelsea with Maresca. This was a guy who I thought was a waste of money, a flop, and he's playing consistent every single week now. But hey, getting back to my point about Arteta. Arteta needs to improve on his in-game management to try to get us to try to win us games. The last time I seen him do that, recently he actually did that. I think if I'm not mistaken, versus Nottingham Forest, it was a tight game. He got us a 3-0 win at the end of it. He did it in the past in the Manchester United game a couple of years ago, where Declan Rice scored the winner. Jesus came on, scored a third. We've seen him do it before. He's capable of doing it. It's just I don't see it consistently enough. Fair enough. But yeah, let's go to the next point. Before we go any further, do me a favor, guys. Please do hit that like button. Please do hit that subscribe button. Please do hit that subscribe button also while you guys are here, people. We got 101 people in the chat right now. Big up to you guys showing some love at 10 a.m. in the morning. Next, I think this is the second last point I'm gonna make. I'm just gonna leave it to 6 points. Next one is the glaring obvious point. But you know the funny thing is, Arsenal after 13 games last in the 2022-2023 season had 31 goals. Arsenal after 16 games in the after 14 one second. Arsenal after 15 games in the 2022-2023 season had 36 goals. Arsenal in the 2023-2024 season after 15 games had 33 goals. Arsenal this season after 16 games have 29 goals. It's really not too far off. It's really not too far off in the goal category. That's the reality. It's not too far off in the goals category. Even the defensive record is not too far off. We conceded 12 goals in 2022-2023. We conceded, you know what? Let me show you guys. Let me show you guys what I'm talking about. Let me show you guys. So this was our 2022-2023 season. If you see there, 12 goals, 12 goals conceded, 36 scored, right? Then you go to the season where we had 2023-2024, 33 goals, 14 goals conceded, right? Not too far off each other. But here's where this season, 15 goals conceded, 29 goals scored. Really and truly, the numbers are not that far off. It's just the importance of the goals is very important. A lot of these games where we drew, we have not scored too many goals. Besides the Man City and the Liverpool game, which we scored 4 goals in those two respective games combined. The rest of those draws have been games where we barely scored. So yes, we scored 29 goals, but we have the West Ham game where we scored 5. We have the Nottingham Forest game where we scored 3. Southampton game where we scored 3. When you really think about it, that's 11 goals in 3 games. It's not like. My main point is, let me get back to my main point. I'm kind of getting off track. My main point is Arsenal have sometimes struggled consistently to create, to score goals, and particularly adjust and organize and stay organized defensively. Due to the pressure we're putting on our attack to try to create, we're sometimes leaving ourselves in a situation where we're becoming too defensive and we're not trusting our attack enough. We're not pushing enough players forward. We lack the attacking firepower, and we consistently find ourselves in matches where we're unable to get over obstacles. In crucial matches, we're not able to get over obstacles to get ourselves that final goal. The Fulham game, I'm going to come back to. I'm going to come back to the game that we recently had versus Everton. You go to the Brighton game when we're down to 10 men. If you look at how Liverpool played down to 10 men versus how we played, we did not trust our attack at all. The Bournemouth game, where when we were down to 10 men, we had the best chance of the game at 0-0. We didn't capitalize. We're not clinical. Arsenal at this moment in time are the team with the most what do you call it? Arsenal, if I'm not mistaken, we're the team with the most, what do you call it, missed chances in the Premier League. Sorry, one of the most missed chances. Let me just double check that quickly. If I'm not mistaken, big chances missed. Arsenal should be up there. Yeah, we have 32 big chances missed. 32 big chances missed. 32. Now, don't get me wrong. We're not the highest. You got Chelsea sitting on 37 big chances missed. Let me show you guys what I'm talking about. You got Chelsea sitting there with 32 big chances missed. You got Aston Villa sitting there with 37 big chances missed. Liverpool 36, Tottenham 33, Bournemouth 33, but Arsenal sitting there with 32 big chances missed. We're missing way too many chances. Missing way too many chances. When we do get our chances, we need to be a little bit more clinical. And the way you're going to do that is going back to one of my earlier points about questionable transfers. But hey, now let's talk about the final part. Let's talk about the final part. Arsenal need more dominant. We need more A players, A levels. We need A stars. Let me give you an example. Right? Let me give you an example. Arsenal need dominant figures in the team. We need dominant figures in the team. Happy holidays to you too. Big up everyone in the comment section. Hope you guys are doing well. Please do hit that like button while you guys are here, of course. Arsenal, while we have some talented players, we might not have the true dominant figures. Look at Liverpool. They have Mo Salah, Van Dijk, and they got a couple other players also in their team, and they build around them. We have Odegaard, Saka, Saliba, Gabriel. We got some good players, right? But when we need some players to step up in the attacking third, we really only look at Odegaard and Saka. You can't really trust Martinelli. You can't really trust Havertz to create something for himself. You can't really trust Partey or Declan Rice or some of these guys to do it for you. But while Arsenal have some really, really good players, I just don't think we have too many world-class players to get us over the line in the Champions Leagues, in the league, and even in the FA Cup, League Cup. We need more difference makers. We need more dominating figures. We need more A-level stars, more world-class players in this team. And the only way we're going to get that is by either creating them like we did with Saka or going out and signing them like we did with Saliba and Odegaard. And I do really look at only a handful of these players are actually on that level. Declan Rice, let's keep it 100. He's not world-class. He can have a world-class performance here and there. He can have a really good season here and there. Declan Rice is not world-class. He's not the difference maker that's going to win you an entire league. Let's be real. You look at Kai Havertz, Martinelli, none of them are. The only players that I can make an argument for, I would say, is Bukayo Saka and Saliba. Even Odegaard, at times, he can be a little bit inconsistent. I don't get me wrong. I've said Declan Rice is in that conversation, world-class conversation before, but that's only because I still think he's up there as one of the top 5 DMs in the world. But right now, I'm looking over at Chelsea and I'm saying Caicedo looks better than him. Gravenberch looks better than him at Liverpool. Call it recency bias, but these players do look better than who we currently have. Declan Rice has not had the best of seasons. Players like Van Dijk, Mo Salah, Rodri, just to name a few, they get into every team in the world. How many players do we have that you could say get into every team in the world? Maybe 2. If I'm pushing it, it's a harsh reality. it is what it is. We need to improve our overall quality of our team. And one of the ways that we can do that is going and getting more difference makers. Not Mikel Moreno, even though I think he's a good player. Not Raheem Sterling. These are not level raisers. Go get me Liao. Go get me Kvaratskhelia. Go get me somebody on that left wing that will put fear in the opponent's hearts. That's what we need. That's what I need. That's what Mikel Arteta should be doing. But why is it why is it that we're looking at Nico Williams? We should be going to AC Milan saying, Liao, how much do you want? 60 million, 80 million, 90 million? Take it. We need that. Not Rashford. Why the fuck are we going to go to Man United and go give them 40 million for Rashford? Fuck that. Raheem Sterling. Fuck that. I'm sorry. We need difference makers. Go get me difference makers. But yeah, that's all I gotta say. That's all I gotta say. That's all I gotta say. You gotta stop reading the chat. The chat's full of trolls. Yeah, the chat is full of trolls. How many Madrid? You're funny. You're funny. You're funny. You're funny. But yeah. So yeah, those are my 6 points. Once again, let me go over them. Inconsistency in the style of play. Absences have hurt Arsenal this season. Questionable transfers decisions. Mikel Arteta's man management. Poor attacking output. And a lack of dominant figures or world-class players to get us over the line. Let me know what you guys think about my video. Let me know what you guys think about this video. I'm going to keep it short. 30 minutes is long enough. And as a Man United fan, I don't expect you to say anything different. And yeah, you can say it's been the same old, same old. Are you ready to admit? Are you ready to admit that you're wrong about? No, I'm not wrong about Arteta. Yeah, I'll keep it real. Arteta is the reason why we're in this. We're even in a title race. Let's keep it 100. Some of these players would not even be sniffing other teams. Let's keep it 100. Martinelli doesn't play for Liverpool. He doesn't start for Liverpool. Trossard doesn't start for any of these teams that would be in a title race. Let's keep it 100. We got guys like Kivior playing consistent minutes for us. Bro, have some respect and decorum on Arteta. Let's keep it real. The guy is one of the main reasons why we are even in the title discussions. Maybe he's not the guy who can get us over the line. Maybe it's the team that can't get over the line. Either way, you need to improve. And I would improve on the team before I go and kick out Arteta at this moment in time. But if I see more glaring managerial mistakes from Arteta, I'll be the first to put my hand up and say I was wrong. Okay? But yeah. There we go. We gotta move on, guys. I'll talk to you guys tomorrow. Actually, I'm gonna be live later tonight at what time am I gonna be live? I'm gonna be live at 10 p.m. It's gonna be a panel show, Vibes from the Six. So please do check it out. Big up to all the people in the comment section. I'm not really happy with Arsenal right now. It got me really not that happy. I said to people, I'm disillusioned, which means you're kind of sad or disappointed. And that's how I feel. Sad, disappointed. I look over at Chelsea. It reminds me of how we were in 2023, 2022 season. I look over at Liverpool. I say that should be us. I look at Man City and I say, why couldn't they fall off last season? And then you got people online talking about Arteta needs to be sacked. Guys, we got bigger issues at hand. Talk to you guys soon. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. Quick little video, 34 minutes, not too long, but love. Trying to get my thoughts off. And yeah, to the people who rock with me, who respect my content. I appreciate you guys. And to people who are the haters, you're watching anyways. So keep hating. Anyways, peace out, guys. Love.